Hi there everybody in the singing world. Welcome to another episode of Ask Vox Singing Academy. And in this episode we are going to be covering warming up whilst you are in the car. But before I get to that, if you like this segment, please subscribe to the link below. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below or shoot me off an email and I'll promise that I'll get back to all of your questions. First and foremost, warming up in the car. We live in such a high-paced society these days. Time is very, very precious. So warming up or doing scales or practice in the car, there sometimes is no other alternative. But I also think it's a great opportunity for you to warm up before you get to your show, before you get to your performance, before you go to rehearsal, the recording studio, or your singing lessons. It's really important that we do this. Now I'm going to give you an example here today of me warming up without my scales recordings. Now if you've come to singing lessons or you've gone to singing lessons or you've subscribed to the Ultimate Online Singing course, you have the scales there ready for you to access, so you can put those on through your speakers. Please not your headphones, because you want to hear yourself clearly and adequately when you're practicing. So make sure that you are always focus on the road as well too. Please don't take your attention off driving when you are doing your scales. So please make sure that you are focused on the road when you are doing your scales. I also don't think that you can focus or warm up properly when you are in the car. When you're in the car, you get a lot of reverberation, similar to being in the bathroom. So you get a lot of reverberation off the shiny surfaces. So I think you actually sound a little bit better. Also, your posture's not that great when you're in the car. If you're in a van or a truck, I think it's a lot better if you're in a van or a truck, so you can get your posture straight. But if you are in a car, just try to put your seat forward a little bit more if you can, so you basically got more of a straight sort of posture. I've moved my seat forward now. And I'm giving you an example of basically what I do before I warm up, before I go to classes, before I go to lessons. I commute to my lessons a few days a week, and I warm up before I get to my classes because I have some time to do that. I also cool down, so when I'm finished lessons as well too, it's really important that I cool down so that I'm taking care of my voice so that I can use it properly the next day. I always have my trusty water as well too, so it's always really important to stay hydrated. So please make sure you're always drinking some water and staying hydrated and keeping your vocal cords hydrated when you're doing your scales. So basically what I do to start off to warm up with is I just do some very light ungs. That's what I call my professional warm-up exercise, where I'm blocking off the back of the uvula with my tongue. I'm raising my tongue up so it's blocking off the back of the uvula. The uvula is the arc with a little piece of tonsil or flesh hanging off the back of it. And I'm keeping my tongue flat. My tongue is to the front part of my lips, but the back of it is raising up towards the arc of my uvula. And I am basically going to be just humming and doing sirens through my range. So I start very low in my range, as low as I can, and I just basically siren up through my range. Now I go through my transition between true voice and falsetto, so sometimes if I haven't warmed up, you can sometimes get a little bit of a crack through this area. So I'll give an example of what I basically do, starting down low. And I just continue doing that. I do that for some time until my voice feels like it is warmed up, and it should be feeling good while I'm doing this, so going through it. So I do that maybe for 3 or 4 minutes. Now you can do it slow like me. I like to go through my range slow so that I'm warming up all of these parts of my voice. Pardon me. But you can go quicker if you want. You can do quicker sirens, but going all the way through your range. As I'm doing this scale longer, I seem to be able to get a little bit higher each time, every time I'm going up a little bit higher. So when I'm first starting with this scale cold, I don't start off trying to go to the highest note that I can possibly sing. I always start down, and I probably only go about 3/4 the way through my range. So right to the very bottom of my range is where I start. I would do that for 4-5 minutes, sometimes longer in winter. If I'm sick, I sometimes do it longer as well too. So do that for as long as you think you need to do that for, just circulating up and down through your range. What I do after that is I do some light falsettos to lightly warm up my falsetto range at the top. So I do a couple of wee. I always do it melodically as well too. I always do it flowing. Wee, wee, wee. Kind of claps the chords together. So I think it's easier to warm up and you put less stress on the voice if you're doing it melodically. So I like to do it wee, wee. Always smiling, trying to think about your technique. Don't look in the mirror, your rear vision mirror, have it down because you want to use that for driving. But always thinking about your technique that you've gone over, that you're trying to get with this particular exercise. So I'm trying to develop my falsetto and use my falsetto towards the top of my range. I'm smiling as well too, trying to put the sounds in my ears. Wee, wee, wee. Then I come back down. Wee, 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 wee. And I go down into my true voice. Wee. And I work my way back up. Wee, wee. Now do this for longer periods of time. If you don't feel that you're warmed up, do it for longer periods of time. Wee, wee. When you get to around where your falsetto is, wee, wee. Back into falsetto. So again, I do that exercise until I feel like I'm limbered up and my falsetto and my true voice are feeling good. And then to warm my voice up as quickly as I can, I do sirens in true voice and in falsetto all the way through my range again. So I start down low and I just go up and down through my range. You can do it on any vowel as well too. A, E, I, O, U, whatever vowel you want to do it on. We. And again, crossing it back from true voice to falsetto, so I'm warming up the whole extent of my range. Again, if you want to do these sirens quicker, you can. I like to do them slower so that I spend more time on each individual part of my vocal cords, warming it up more. So I like to do them slower myself. Excuse me, bit of hay fever. Not a little bit, actually a lot. So again, this is customized to my vocal needs and range. I'm doing it for my voice. Females are going to need to start higher. Now, once I've done this particular part in my voice and I've warmed up this part in my voice, again, you can do these longer. If you feel you want to do them longer, do them longer. Now, you want to warm up the parts of your voice that you're basically working. So if you're working more of your falsetto or more of your cries or more of your husky voice, do some husky scales. Now, because I'm generally warming up to warm up before singing lessons, I'm going to do a couple of cries. So I start my cries down low. Again, I don't do a lot of these, and I don't go as high in my range as what I normally can because my posture, I can't, even if I'm going straight here, the headrest is stopping my posture from actually getting a nice straight posture here. So I only go as far as my voice will let me push and will let me go until my voice starts to strain. Don't push your voice. And then I basically just come back down and then I do a proper warm-up while I'm actually standing up before I get into class again. So again, remember, this is not my full warm-up, this is only my partial warm-up. But I start down low with some cries. I'll do wah, wah, wah. Still trying to focus on my technique, tighten my stomach, smiling, wah, wah. Trying to round up to the note. Wah, putting more sobbing. Wah, it's about as high as my voice is going to go. I really feel I have to work to get it there. Wah, wah, wah. Always remember to focus on the road as well too. Wah, 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 wah. And I'll go up and down and do that a couple more times till I feel that my crying area is warmed up again. I'm not warming up the full extent of my top range. I've got about 5 or 6 more notes in my top range that I just can't reach in this posture. I just physically can't do it. I'm not going to push my voice to hurt my voice or wear my voice out either. Okay, and then what I do now is when I feel like I'm warmed up, I sing through a couple of songs. So you can pick out whatever songs you want to work on to sing to warm up. You can play your favorite songs. You can sing them a cappella, whichever way you want. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me. Still working on your technique, your mouth, your support. Speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me. Speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, oh, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Signing off, guys. Much love.